Welcome on in to Up North at Forum here with Ann Waisbrot, and we're in her home studio because the Northwoods art tour is beginning today, correct?
It is.
What's going on with this art tour? What's this whole thing all about?
The art tour is wonderful fun. It's 3 days, today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, from 10 till 5 every day. It's free, which is always fun, because a lot of art tours are fundraisers for something. So I always make sure I put that in. There are 37 studios that are selected to be on the art tour. You have to send slides in and jury in to be part of this. What you need to do is pick up one of these great brochures.
Okay.
They're available at the chambers, and they're available at most businesses. And any of the restaurants or businesses that have that rack, we have a service that does the racks.
Perfect.
So they're kind of ubiquitous around here.
Yeah, you can find them wherever, right?
Yeah.
And this is many communities, locations involved. You said 37 studios,
37, and we from Iron County. There's a couple on the edge, between Iron and Vilas, and then Vilas County, Oneida County, and Lincoln County.
Okay.
So it's a range. You're not going to do it all in one day.
It's almost like a scavenger hunt mixed with an art tour, mixed with, the scenic.
Well, you get to go off the highway and
Off the
see
beaten path a
where
little.
people actually live and work. And a lot of us live on lakes, and a lot of us live out in the woods. So we tend to be quiet people because we're busy working all the time.
We're up north. We're in the Northwoods, right?
Right.
You got to come to us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And so, it's really a fun thing, and then you kind of get to see what's inspiring a lot of people
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
on your trip, because a lot of us are inspired by where we live, and so that's connects to it too.
Yeah, and obviously we're standing here in your studio and just taking a look around. A lot of paintings that you've done. I'm seeing a lot of nature pieces. Obviously, there's a theme here, right? Where did that come from?
Well, I'm pretty much a landscape painter. I have started to add animals to my landscape occasionally.
You feeling a little frisky that day? Maybe throw an animal in? What got you started, though, with painting? I'm just curious.
Well, actually, I have a degree in art education, which means you know a lot about a little about a lot of things, but you're not an expert in anything.
Right, jack of all trades, master of none.
And I graduated like in 1970, but I don't know if you remember the 60s, but probably not. But landscape painting wasn't highly valued. They didn't really teach it in college.
Okay.
They didn't teach realistic painting other than life drawing in those classes. So I thought I was going to grow up and be an abstract expressionist.
That's what you were taught, right?
Well, and when I graduated, I had 2 small children, so I actually never taught full-time. I did a lot of part-time stuff that fit in with my family schedule, and then I directed a nonprofit museum gallery program for 20 years. Now, I would have never in school thought I would like to do that. I found out what I do like. I like making things work, whether it's a painting or an organization or whatever it is. But as part of that, I was a curator, and I brought in a lot of shows. And I started a show called Culture and Agriculture, because we were in Marshfield, which is peak agricultural area, but we had people from all over the United States entering the show. And there was a gal from West Bend whose oil paintings I loved. They were very painterly. I like, that's subjective. I mean, it doesn't mean that's a better style than any other style.
Right, but
everybody has their own preference.
That's what I was going to say. That's what drew your eye.
That's what I liked, yeah. And so, but I had no idea how to begin a landscape. So I hired her to do workshops for us, and I took vacation and took the workshops. So I started my painting landscape career painting outdoors, plein air. And I'm really glad I did that, because I work from photos in my studio a lot, but I know what the photo isn't telling me. I know shadows aren't black. I know there's shades in a shadow, because I've been out there observing. There's really no substitute for that.
Yeah.
And I still do that, but not as much as I used to.
And there's no better way than getting outside than, I guess, calling it your work, right? Scouting out an area, so to say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, you've been painting now for years, and obviously people can come look at some of your work a little bit. And I think it would be really cool if we take a quick break, though, come back and maybe take a look around your studio a little bit. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds good, but don't forget to pick up your brochure.
Absolutely. Don't forget your brochure. We'll chat more about this after the break and Up North at 4.
I try to paint all the seasons. Winter is not a big seller, but it's so beautiful that I can't resist it. This water lilies is right off the canvas. It's just dry enough to frame. And that was a challenge for me. I haven't done those for a long time. I've done distant ones, but I haven't done close-ups of water lilies. And then this one is a new one for me too. This is it was a beautiful misty morning with all that fog and mist, which is another skill to learn how to paint. And I put the heron in it because there's just something about, sometimes you're out there in the boat and it's real quiet and you don't even know they're there, and all of a sudden they explode and they go whoosh up and you go, ah! And so I had to put a heron in. I just thought that would be a nice addition to that. I have a looking up series I'm doing. I just love to look up at those big pines and do a more detailed study of them, and that nest is just so cool. And I grew up in Wausau near Marathon Park, and I loved to walk through those pines when I was a child, and now I live among them. So they appear in a lot of my paintings, but they've not appeared a lot as just a single subject matter. And so I'm thinking more and more about to do just the pine and do a study of it.